What? I'm working. I'm checking emails, doing work. Come on. Focus. Welcome to the Bacon Motorsports Power Hour. We are now joined by Steve Hughes of Kern County Raceway Park. Mike Griffith over there in the corner, or downstairs in his laboratory, working hard.
Laboratory.
Yes,
Laboratory.
Steve Hughes is here, and tough days for you guys there with the passing of Charlie Beard. And
Certainly.
What did he do, and what did he mean to that track?
Everything. James Vernon really brought that thing back to life and got it started.
Yeah.
The story is a legendary one where Charlie came out to build some steel buildings and buy a suite. And then came back out to check on the progress of the buildings that were being built and realized, hey, it's not moving fast enough for Charlie's liking. So they got involved, and they didn't get involved they weren't racing guys.
Yeah.
They were oil guys and very successful oil guys. From there on, things moved at light speed. Once Charlie and General Production Service got involved in the construction side, and John Piker and Juan Gonzalez came on board and started moving and shaking. When you know it, they got that deal finished pretty darn quick. So it'd be a far stretch to say that without Charlie Beard that there would be a Kern County Raceway.
Take me back in time. I'm curious about this too, because, and Mike, we've talked about this before as well. I remember driving up and down the I-5,
Right.
Through the years, and you see the track start to be under construction, and then there's that period where you see nothing.
Well, I was there for the groundbreaking, the original groundbreaking. I hosted that event with the Collins family and the Stephanie family, and then I was there for the heartbreaking as well when it finally, shut down.
Right.
And then there was that period of time, gosh, three or 4 years.
Yeah, just sat like
just
the
sat in-
tumbleweeds.
Yeah, and James Vernon tells the story. They spent 2 months just
Getting
tumbleweeds out of the infield.
Yeah.
They said he had a yard pickup, basically, that they just forged a path through the tumbleweeds to get
Right.
up around where the truck was. It was just like a moat of tumbleweeds
So
surrounding it.
Mesa Marin closes what year again?
2005,
2005.
October 2005.
But there was sort of like, okay, well, we can accept that it's going to close, but because we're going to
Then the announcement was made at Mesa Marin's awards banquet shortly after that.
2006, I think.
Well, early 2006.
Yeah,
so
in
it
the
had to
spring.
be, it was January.
January or February.
January when they had their awards banquet, when the announcement was made and had the drawings and the renderings and all of that. And then construction started shortly after that, the groundbreaking and then the construction. From 05 to 2015, there was no NASCAR in Kern County.
And then, then it restarts in 2012.
2013.
Yeah, 13.
13.
And the construction moves very, very quickly.
Oh, no. Well, so 2012,
Right.
the reconstruction starts.
begins, right.
They have their first race in spring of 13.
Right.
And now we're going into our fourth. Well, we're
Fourth
in the
season.
middle of our fourth season.
Right.
Yeah.
And Charlie, I think one of the things that struck me was that when we went out there, Mike and I went out there about every couple months, I think, and we did little videos and things like that, detailing what was going on. And we'd always see James Vernon. Oh, there's Charlie Beard driving by, or he's over there, doing something. It's like he was so incredibly hands-on. I mean, James Vernon obviously was too.
Absolutely.
But Charlie was in the middle of it.
They're James Vernon and Charlie Beard both very passionate about Kern County Raceway, very hands-on. James with his background in racing, Charlie with his background in running a business, creating businesses, building businesses, and he was very, very proud of Kern County Raceway, what they had built, and it truly is the jewel of short track racing. You won't find a track anywhere in the United States like this that has a weekly show. It's just just a beautiful facility, and he was proud of it. You talk about Charlie Beard always doing stuff. That was his home office, for the last 4 years was
Right.
at Kern County Raceway. I saw him every single day out there. He was hands-on. He was, in the day-to-day decisions about what to build and where to build it, what to move, and how we should go about doing things. And it's just amazing to see A guy, that's when I went to work out there, he was 75 years old and worked me under the table consistently. It wouldn't be strange to see Charlie on a grader or on a earth mover and just doing work. And I think that was really a happy place for him when he was out there doing that.
And you guys found out moments before the race started. I mean, we have a big event on Saturday night with a big race and a big purse and a big crowd. How did you handle that news? Well, I know you because it's tough on you. So
it was tough.
Yeah.
But we have a great team.
Yeah.
And it is really a family.
Right.
But yeah, it was tough. But thanks to Lee and Holly Baumgarten and Juan Gonzalez, and they're really able to encourage me just to be strong and get through it and just make the announcement during our opening ceremonies. And Brian Olson down there on the track,
right.
when we were getting ready to go, he gave me some encouragement as well. And it was just hard.
Yeah.
And when you're and you just had to just get through it. We had a job to do, and I know that's what Charlie would have wanted.
He would have expected that too.
Absolutely expected that, to get through it and just carry on. And I know Charlie, and I know he would have been disappointed if we would have slowed down or missed a step.
Right.
So we got through that part with the announcement and continued with the night. Man, we had some great racing. Great racing.
Chris can run that B-roll now of the highlights of the race. And
let's show the race a little
stuff.
bit.
And I say that carry on with that tradition, and not only affected you but Derek Thorne, who went on to win this without leading a lap in this MX format.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car, you ask him about winning, and he had about a one-sentence answer, then right into Charlie Beard and what a great, his thoughts were all about Charlie. Because I remember when they were building this place, Derek, was out there quite often to say, "I'm just so glad."
Well, it's been. I want to thank the racing community, all of our track partners, for all their condolences and sending us messages. We truly appreciate each and every one of you guys for taking the time out to send your condolences to the family. So
Look how pretty that shot is.
This is an awesome night for racing.
Yeah.
I put up some pictures the next day. It's so rare in the third week in May when you can go up there and you can see the Southern Sierra, the Tehachapi's, and the Timber Mountain Range. And yes, I know the names of all of them. And you could see the mountains on all sides of it. And then the moon coming up a little later, you could see. And a good crowd on hand and great racing. Just a picture
Look at
perfect
the hues
night.
of purple, in the background. Amanda Perryman got some great shots of the cars going into 3 and 4 with that sky in the background.
It was just such a photogenic night, and a sad night, but perfect night for racing out there. I don't know if you could have a better race. And in the end of the first 75 lap segment, it was David Mayhew won that.
Yep.
Derek Thorne finished second, and this was split 75 lappers, each scored separately, and the combination of the overall finishes, you add them up like points.
Correct.
So it was 1 + 4, because this is great side-by-side racing. This was actually for
fourth at
that point.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being for third in the second 75 lap. These two guys, Derek Thorne and David Mayhew of Bakersfield, ran side-by-side for so many laps and maybe touched 1 or 2 times. Just an awesome display of racing, and that's what really made this race is those two guys.
It certainly was, and it was billed as that. It was Thorne versus Mayhew. We saw some of that in this year's Winter Showdown. Unfortunately, getting sideways there. Unfortunately, the 17 car of Mayhew broke right after I believe it was the 40 lap mark in the showdown. So this is what we were anticipating in the showdown, and we got to see it on a great Saturday night out at KCRP for SRL's first of 2 visits to Kern this year.
So what happens here is Mayhew had a first and a fourth, added up to 5 points.
Correct.
And Derek Thorne finished second and a third. added up to 5, but the highest finishing position in the second 75 lapper was the tiebreaker. So Derek Thorne was the overall winner and never led a lap.
And what was the
Correct.
reaction?
And
I mean,
it's funny that David replied to one of my tweets and said basically they both got their butts kicked in the second 75.
Yeah, they did. Ryan Cansdale just walked away with that one. He was the Irwindale winner for the Spears Southwest Tour Series, and he backed it up with a great second segment win on Saturday night. Yeah, it was. And here's the thing: we talk about, the race team says, well, we thought if we won the race, we should actually, win the race. Well, with this segment, with this type of format, if we would have run it just 150 laps with a halfway break, David Mayhew and Derek Thorne would have started on the pole for the second segment. And so let's see how that would have worked out.
Yeah.
They could have ran away just as Cansdale did out in the clean air. So you never really know. I was so proud that the SRL took this chance. I thought it was great for the race fans. So, some race teams may have loved it. Obviously, the 43 car did. He walked away with the $5,000 check and continuing to lead in the points in the Spears Southwest Tour Series. Others, didn't like it. But, Buddy Shepard came back in that second and finished in the second segment and finished 5th for a 7th place overall finish in his first SRL Southwest Tour race.
All right.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I think it was great from the fans' perspective, which is how I look at it the majority of the time. I thought it was unbelievable. I was excited for the entire 150 laps. And I love the way we broke it down with 75 to start the night, had our local divisions there sandwiched in the middle, and then the final 75 at the end of the evening.
Yeah, and I think that was so unique, too. And I think that's what part of the appeal was. The fans were there early. They got to see the
show.
The show
Yeah.
first.
Mm-hmm.
They got to maybe
Show
if they
some
didn't
of
want
those
to see the
pictures,
other
Chris.
stuff go on, and then they got to see the show to end it.
Absolutely.
And it was I think that's the thing that you got to keep doing is you got to keep experimenting with these formats because you watch that video and the sophisticated race fans, who were probably a lot of them in that are watching that 17 and 43 car. Wait, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were correct.
Going crazy, and battling it out. That is fun to watch.
I talked to Dick Shepard. He called yesterday and about something, and then I said, "Yeah, well, I didn't even notice Buddy because I was filming, and so I'm only seeing the
Sure.
small stuff, and I was focused on that battle for third because they're side by side." And Dick goes, "Yeah, to be honest, I caught myself looking there, not watching Buddy a few times too because
and I'll tell
he
you-
said it was such great racing."
And behind that battle for 3rd and 4th between Thorne and Mayhew, from 5th to about 11th, you could have thrown a blanket over those cars. And the move that really got Buddy up into the top 5, there were some cars that were in front of him that checked up. Somebody got loose or something, and everybody checked up. Buddy did not check up. So it could have turned out one of two ways. It could have been very, very good, which it was, or very, very bad for Buddy. And he, slid into 5th and really ran late in the race.
Yeah, that car
ran
came to
very,
life
very
late in the
good
race.
laps. Yeah, on old tires. I mean,
Yeah.
one set of tires for 150 laps at Kern County Raceway is pretty tough. Yeah.
Well, great stuff, and some photos from Tom Mock and from Amanda Perryman.
Yeah. Cade McClinney wins
McClinney,
again, makes it 3 in a row. Just the opening ceremonies were great.
Yep.
I want to thank, the Minterfield Air Museum, our partners from Golden State Peterbilt that had that 75th anniversary Peterbilt with the American flag out there, and just everybody that came out on Saturday night. And we
All right,
appreciate y'all.
real quick,
Yeah.
you've got this Guinness Book of World Records thing coming up. By the
Yes, we
way,
do.
how do you say his last name? Robbie
Zub.
Zub
Yeah.
won in Legends.
C silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Cade McClenny winning in Bandos. What is
And engineer Aaron Dow wins in the 911
Okay,
series.
all right.
So congratulations to them.
what's going to happen with this Guinness Book? of
Okay,
World
here's the deal. Every year, our Salute to America Fireworks Spectacular is one of our biggest nights of the year. We were approached by the Bakersfield Association of Realtors for this great event. They want to break a Guinness Book of World Records. They had already contacted the Guinness Book of World Records. They've already are having the guy come out to break this world record, which is the most amount of people singing "God Bless America"
Nice.
on the radio live. So we partnered up with Bakersfield's Best Country, KUZZ, Bakersfield Association of Realtors, Kern County Raceway, and it's to raise money for 4 great local veterans groups, Wounded Heroes Fund, Honor Flight, and gosh, Warrior Customs, and then there's one more, but I just can't remember it. But all that, $5 of almost every ticket is going to those four veterans organizations locally.
Place, right?
We need to pack the place, and I don't just need you to show up. I also need you to sing. So I need you there, and I need you to sing as well. And we've already got contacts from Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts troops that are just wanting to come out to sing to help that number. So it's going to be great, and it's really a great value for you because you are going to get that 20-minute fireworks show. You're going to get some great racing, and you're going to get an opportunity to be part of breaking a Guinness Book of World Record. So it's going to be an amazing night, and that's going to be Saturday, July 2nd. So stay tuned for that, and and we've got a lot more racing. We've got a Wounded Heroes Fun Night coming up on June 18th. We've got Pit Barrel Cooker Night coming up on June 4th when we get back to racing. So it's going to be an exciting couple of months for Kern County Raceway.
Can't wait. All right, Steve Hughes, thanks so much, and we're sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and everything you've done, and we'll be right back with more here on the Power Hour.